Haven't seen you in so long.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. I have.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Larry, I haven't seen you in 10 years.
Hey, Steve, I think it might even be longer.
Wow,
You look the same.
Well, good for you. I recognize you also. Yeah.
Are you going to be going on the trip too?
No, not this one. I led
Okay.
I go once a year and I lead one of the groups, but I've already done my mission, so I'm up for next year.
Okay.
Larry and I served as volunteers together for, my goodness, 2002 maybe.
It might have been 6. I think 6 was the first time I went. Yes, and we were in the same room. Yeah,
Right.
that was a great trip.
Right. There's a video on the YouTube channel for VFI, and it's called "Why Are You Here?" And Larry is a star in that movie in his younger years. Did you know that?
Hey, Frank. I just want to apologize ahead of time if I turn off my camera or something. I have a concussion and I'm not supposed to stare at a screen. So if I do that, I'm still here,
Yep.
just not looking at a screen. Okay?
Yep.
I wanted to see you guys.
Okay. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It was a car accident. I'm fine. Everyone's
Yep.
okay.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Ilana's in remediation.
yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Just to go away. It's been
Whatever.
over. Yeah.
Hello, Frank. Haven't seen you in a year or so.
Frank, you're muted.
You're muted, Frank.
Yes, I am. Hello, everybody.
Yep.
Hello.
Frank and I served on this very program. What was it? 2 years ago?
2 years ago or last year?
This year, I forget. Yeah.
Okay.
And he came back
There's-
for more. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Hello, Harrison. I'm your roommate.
Ah,
We're going to
be
be
careful
closing
what you
August
say.
on-
Yeah, be careful what you say, Harrison. Frank is a lawyer.
I don't know who to go to when I say something wrong.
Exactly.
I'm a recovering lawyer.
I've only heard recovering Catholic. I haven't heard recovering or lapsed more. All right.
Got to
Let's
be
see.
careful you don't have any relapses.
I know.
Right.
All right. So we have another minute and then maybe we'll introduce everyone, I guess. I'm guessing not everyone can come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's Deborah.
There is 15 folks in your group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Steve, this is here. Do you want Steve's Otter to be on?
No, you can kill that. We don't need him.
Okay. I'm not a co-host. Steve.
Oh, I'll take care of it.
Gotta make me co-host.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Right. Okay, co-host now, I think. Yep.
Am I? Okay. Okay, great. What was I just? Oh, I'm getting rid of Steve's Otter.
Okay.
Move.
I got it. I'm not going to.
Oh, I did it. It's
Oh,
okay.
you did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know my role.
She
Just not used to doing it with a different group.
knocks me off all the time. Bingo. You know, I get out of it. All right. It is 8 o'clock. We're starting. I'll kick us off.
Yeah.
It is 8 o'clock. It is Volunteers for Israel Archaeology 2023. We are recording this program for anybody who wants to re-listen or anybody who was unable to join us this evening. We will reveal the code on YouTube so you can look at it. It'll take a day or two to get it out there. I'm delighted to see all you folks this evening. You're in for one hell of a blast. And you've chosen very wisely on this tour, which I think is the finest program the VFI has ever put together. It's got more content and more things that will swim in your brain and it'll penetrate than anything I've ever done. I've done the volunteer service 16 times. I've done the archaeology one at least. I think I've led twice or three times maybe, and every time I still learn something. So I thought I'd mention, oh, and Alana's with us. And Alana is my supervisor, and we together manage the VFI special programs, of which this is one of them. There are a couple of folks who I just want to put their names on the table so when you hear about them, you might know who they are. The first one is Ilana, and she is a person, she's a go-to person for everybody for just about any issues that might arise or any questions about programming material. There is a Julia Newman, and Julia is your tour guide. Julia is an Israeli. She is an expert tour guide. In fact, she teaches tour guides, and I'm sure you'll all be delighted with her services. You'll discover that she knows the answers to just about everything. And if you ask her a question and she doesn't know the answer, it's probably a bad question. I've known Julia for 15 years, and she stumps me every time. I think Frank, you probably agree with that, based on her experience.
If she doesn't know the answer, she'll make one up, and it's reasonable enough, you'll believe it.
Not good.
Also in Israel is a lady whose name is Pamela. Pamela is an American from Chicago. She's been in Israel for 30 years, perhaps. And she is our support person should any obstacles occur or things don't happen in a straight line. She is always available to us. She herself used to run the Volunteer for Israel Sarel program in Israel. And she's very knowledgeable, and you'll hear her name. Also, the last one. Go ahead, Deborah. Can I just
interrupt for a second? Karen Miller just texted me that she was having trouble getting in.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have her email address? Or can you just email her the code, the same one you used?
She should have it because we all received it.
She should have it.
Perhaps hers got corrupted somehow.
Or wait, she's signing on right now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Thanks, Deborah.
Talking about Pam.
Yeah, the last name is Dr. Yuval Gadot.
Wait a minute, were you talking about Pam?
Yeah, well, I just mentioned Pam, just so everybody knows who she might be, and we'll maybe talk about it further later. The last one is Dr. Yuval Gadot, Dago, G-A-D-O-T. No relation to the actress. Gadot, right.
It's not French, it's his Hebrew.
Thank you. She corrects me all the time. It's all right.
I do.
So he's an important guy because he is the chairman of the Tel Aviv University Department of Archaeology. He's also a world-class archaeologist. He's written and published and teaches. And you, assuming that he's in country when you're there, you will be lectured by him on Saturday night of your second week. And he will orient you on the site and various other factors having to do with professional archaeology work. So those are a couple of folks I just wanted to introduce you to. I'm going to turn the meeting over to Alana to pick up and move forward.
I didn't know that was happening. Okay. Well, just to further explain what Pam Lazarus will do while you're there, I didn't hear everything Steve said, but basically she will be like your on the ground person if you need help or advice while you're there. You'll be given her WhatsApp, her number, and she's from Chicago. She's wonderful. If there is a case of COVID on the base and they ask you to leave, she'd be the one to call, and she would advise you on hotels to call. She can help you figure out how to get a doctor. She won't call the hotels for you or book hotels or anything like that, but she's offered as a friend of ours to help out in any way she can. So that's something that we have on the ground over there. So to start this off, should we kind of just, do you want to go around, introduce yourself, say where you're from, if you've done VFI before? Does that sound like a good idea?
Sure.
Actually, I guess I'll call on people.
Oh, go ahead.
So it's not like popcorn. Pam.
Okay, I'm Pam Burrell, and my husband, Michael, and I are really excited to go on the program. It's our first time, and we had friends who went probably about 8 years ago and loved it, and we felt actually that this was a great combination, though, not just the Army base, but the archaeological dig volunteering too. So we're very excited.
Great. Oh, and can you guys also say if you're planning on coming early or staying late?
Oh, yeah. We're doing both, actually. We're coming about a day and a half early, and we're staying about 2.5 days afterwards.
Great. Thank you. Bob and Mickey.
Are we on?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm Miriam Fiden. Everybody calls me Mickey. And this is Bob. And this is our first time. And so we're very excited about it. And we are coming, we'll be there Friday afternoon. So we're coming about a day and a half early. And but we're not staying late.
Okay, and where are you coming from?
South Carolina.
It's good because then people find out if they're near you and you guys can do stuff together if need be.
Yeah, we live in South Carolina. We're flying out of Fort Lauderdale to get to Israel.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay, gotcha. All right, Larry.
Hi, Larry Alcid. I'm from Long Island, New York. This is my third VFI trip. It's been a couple of years since I went, and my wife isn't going to be going. I'll be going on my own. And we had gone to Israel earlier this year. We were hoping to do it was an archaeology institute, American Archaeology Institute was going to do a tour, and we were going to book for it, but then they canceled because they didn't have enough people. So we went to Israel, kind of did our own tour. And then the week I got back, I got the email about this one. So I decided to sign up because I like doing both the archaeology and volunteering. So, and I'll be coming in 2 days early, and I'm going to probably be spending some time at the Dead Sea, and then I'll meet at the airport Sunday morning.
And you want to say where you're coming from?
Long Island,
Okay.
New York. And I'll be flying out of JFK.
JFK, cool. Liliana?
Hi, I'm Liliana. This is my first VFI trip. I am going to be there 3 nights earlier, and I was hoping to see. My voice is coming out funny.
I'm not sure what's happening. I can't tell if it's yours or Harrison's, but both keep lighting up, so.
Yeah, and I was wondering if anybody's staying after and where are they staying. I'm staying at the Maxine in Jaffa for 3 nights before. And I'm doing that particularly because something happens with the planes. I'll never make it there.
Right.
But the way back, at what time is our event finishing the last day?
Usually tell people to get flights like 11 p.m. or later, 10:30, 11 p.m., late at night.
That's a Friday, right?
Saturday night, yes.
Saturday?
Oh, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, what'll happen is, I'll answer that question. You'll tour all day Saturday. This is the final day. And you'll have a farewell dinner Saturday night at a hotel or a restaurant that Julia will choose. And after that, Julia will take everybody to the airport. And usually you'll get there maybe like 8 o'clock at night. Most of the flights that leave Tel Aviv Airport on Saturday night leave after 11 p.m. and might leave as late as 4 a.m. in the morning. I've experienced that. And so that's the general schedule.
Okay, that's I needed to. I had it wrong for some reason, but that's great. So I could come earlier.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Liliana. Howard, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Howard Lindenauer. I live in Oceanside, New York. This will be my 10th volunteer trip, and my second archaeology trip. I went on last October 2022. I went on VFI. It was 1 week on an Air Force base, and the second week in the city of David. It was a great trip. You'll have a great time. Really had a great time.
You coming early or staying late?
Yeah, I'm coming in 4 days early, and I'm leaving 1 day early.
And Howard is also one of our recruiters. So if you're in his region, you would have heard from him first. So he does a lot of work for us. Thanks, Howard. Frank?
I'm Frank Hagelberg. I live in Rochester, New York, but I grew up in Dust City. And
I've lost count of how many times I've done VFI. I do know this will be my second VFI archaeology. I'm probably going to come in, I think, Thursday, and go to Jerusalem. My younger son and the two most beautiful grandchildren in the world are in Jerusalem, and I'm not sure when I'm flying out. Probably Saturday night. Truth to tell, I'm still waiting for my formal acceptance in the program, and once I have that,
I think you'll be fine, Frank.
well, I think so too.
I'll put a good word in.
Thank you. That may jinx it, but my wife will be in country at the same time. She's going to spend a week hugging the grandchildren and another week on a tour led by Rabbi Felicia Sol of B'nai Jeshurun on the Upper West Side. So she'll be busy as well. But we haven't made flight arrangements yet. And as I say, among other things, I'd like to know that I'm a go on the program. The last trip I did was this VFI archaeology, and it's, can't say enough good things. It's a nice mix of working on the base and then experiencing the dig, as Howard indicated. And it's a lot of fun to go that far down and still find stuff. It's sort of amazing. Mostly pottery shards or bones, but we did pick up a very apparently valuable coin the last time we were there, and that's always a cause for great celebration.
One person found a very nice bronze bracelet, a children's bracelet last year.
Nice.
Harrison?
Hi, everybody. I'm Harrison Mask. I'm from the suburbs outside Philadelphia. This will be my first time, and there we go. This will be my first time going to Israel in general. Never gone VFI, no birthright. And most likely I'll be flying out. Liliana and I have been talking, and I think she's going 3 days early. I'm just figuring out with my work if I'm going to go 3 days early. It might be 2 days early. But I'm probably also going to stay 2 days after. I'll probably leave Monday or Tuesday. I want to see as much as I can while I'm there. So, yeah.
Remind me where in the burbs you're from?
I'm from Montgomeryville. Grew up in Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I'm from Lower Merion. Not too far.
Oh, okay. Did you go to Lower Merion High School?
I did.
Well, means I went to North Penn, if you know that.
Oh, yeah, I do. I'm a little older than you, but yeah.
6 degrees of separation.
Great. Let me break in for a second. Yeah, I'm in Newtown Square, Harrison, also.
There we go.
I was going to mention.
We're all neighbors.
Don't forget to mention to Julia what your exit plan is, because for the folks who are not going to the airport, she'll make some arrangement with you individually on how you're going to get delivered to wherever it is you're going to after the farewell dinner.
Okay.
Just want to plant that idea. Okay, go ahead.
Everyone should. Deborah?
Hi, I'm Deborah Samuelson. I live in Manhattan, and this is my first volunteer trip. I'm coming into Israel on the 13th, and I'm leaving on Sunday morning at 6 a.m.
Okay. Early.
So, yeah, very early. And I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
Great.
Deborah, you'll be amazed how many people will be at the airport when you check in at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. They said to be there 3 hours in advance. So
right.
Don't even bother sleeping. I wouldn't.
It'll be a long night.
No, I just may go to the airport with everybody else.
Yeah,
that would work.
What, Liliana?
Is Deborah my roommate? Who is my roommate?
I don't have the roommate list in front of me.
I have a single room.
Okay, then no.
So you're not my roommate, although I will visit you probably.
All right, but I'll try to look for a roommate so I can tell you guys. But keep going. Allison, you want to go? You just have to unmute yourself.
What happened?
So maybe someone else. While she's doing it, Jack, do you want to go?
Hi, I'm Jack Leibowitz. I'm from Glens Falls, New York, which is upstate, in the Adirondack Mountains. This is my second VFI. And my first was with Frank in December of 2019. We went and we run the VFI Plus. So we did a lot of the touring, and I'm really excited about this trip because not only am I excited about doing the archaeology, because that's obviously exciting, but I get to see the other part of the country that Julia didn't take us to, because we went to these pretty interesting places, the Upper Galilee or the Galilee near near Akko, and then the Avdat and the Negev, and so this is I get into the Upper Galilee and see all those places. So I'm really excited about this.
Great.
Jack, good to see you. You let your hair grow since the last time I saw you.
Yeah. I did. I decided COVID. I mean, I just didn't go out of the house for 3 years,
That works. Allison, I saw you had your sound and your picture. Now I see you have neither. So I'll go to Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen Miller. This will be my second VFI volunteering trip, but the last one was, believe it or not, 15 years ago. I always wanted to go back, and fortunately, I had this opportunity. I also always wanted to go on an archaeological dig, so the two combined, it's going to be a trip of a lifetime, I think. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm from New York. I actually already know Deborah Samuelson, and I don't have my plane tickets yet, but I don't think that I'm going to extend at either end. It will be an in and out trip.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Allison, want to go ahead? We can hear you.
You're good, Allison. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me and see me, or just hear me?
Both of us.
All right, cool. Because we have a hurricane right here in Florida, so we're having some tropical storm conditions right now.
Okay.
But yeah, this will be my first Volunteers for Israel archaeology trip, and I'm very excited about it. I'm planning on flying to Tel Aviv on September the 28th, and then I have some extension trips planned afterwards for Egypt and Jordan, but I'm definitely excited about the trip, and I'm also happy to have a roommate too, in case you haven't found somebody to place me with.
Hold on. I don't think we had anyone to put you with. We had two people who needed roommates.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So as of now, as long as that's okay. Okay, Mary, do you want to unmute? Liliana, Mary's your roommate, but she's muted. Mary, we can't see her and we can't hear her. Jeffrey, you want to go? How you doing? We know Jeffrey.
Okay. My name is Jeffrey Cole. I am from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Although 45 years ago, I did graduate from the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
This will be my 9th visit to Israel since 1991, but the first time with VFI. So I'm really excited and looking forward to it. And I plan on arriving in Israel probably on Friday the 13th. And there's a possibility that after this trip, I may be leading a 10-day private tour for some people from Hong Kong and from North America. So it will be confirmed in the coming week. So I'll try to let you know as soon as I can.
That's exciting.
Great.
Thank you.
Oh, I think Mary, have you unmuted? You there?
Go ahead, Mary.
Mary? All right. I'm not sure what's going on. Liliana, I'll try to connect you to Mary at some point so you guys can talk.
You're going to send a list of the names so we have them all.
A list of everyone's name?
Yeah, so we know the names before.
Well, what I was going to say is what I'll do is if you object to me sending your numbers to everyone else, let me know, because what you guys can do, what we usually suggest is that somebody at this meeting volunteers to create a WhatsApp group for this group using all the phone numbers that you'll have when you're in Israel. So if you're planning on changing your number in Israel, let me know. If you're planning on keeping it, let me know. If you don't know any of that at this time, let me know that too. But what I'll do is if everyone's okay with it, is I'll set out the current numbers I have for everyone's name. Can somebody on this call arrange a WhatsApp group? Anyone good with WhatsApp? Harrison, I'm going to pick you if nobody else is.
I'm not sure. Is WhatsApp just like a texting, or it's like a?
Oh my God, you're too young to know what WhatsApp is.
I've never used it. I've never needed it, but I assume it's just a form of communication when you're.
Yeah, don't worry. Does anyone else know how to use WhatsApp?
I'll try it.
Pam, you know how?
Okay, yeah, I can do it.
Great, thanks, Pam. Harrison, I was thinking everyone assumes I know these things, and I usually don't. Okay, great. So is everyone okay with me sending everyone else's email and number so you all have each other's contact info? Anyone with a thumbs down?
With me.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'm not hearing any nays, so I'll be doing that for everyone. And Steve, if you want, we can go into if anyone has questions, unless you have something else to add.
I don't think we called on Michael yet.
I don't see. No, well,
yeah,
Michael.
I'm with Pam.
He's attached to Pam.
I'm
She
sort of
introduced
Paul
both of
Lynn
them.
in the center square. We're
Michael,
in
if you want to
different
say
rooms.
anything else, if you want to say anything in addition to what Pam said, you're welcome to introduce yourself.
Pam forgot to mention we're in suburban Chicago.
Right.
Otherwise, I leave everything to Pam.
Okay. So for some reason, this trip, we have like an inordinate amount of single rooms, that is, single rooms. And then it's
right. I think a lot of middle America folks, I don't think anybody from California, which is really unusual, but it looks like a great group. I have a little show and tell for about a couple of minutes if anybody's interested in listening.
I have a feeling of what it is. Do you want to get questions first in case someone asks?
Yeah, let's see if anybody has. One question that was already posed was, what was the name of the hotel in Tel Aviv that we generally use that's right on the beach? And it is called the...
I sent it to Steve. It's called the Maxim. Yeah, it's called the Maxim. And if you want, that is the only hotel. The woman, Pam, who we told you about earlier, actually arranged for them to do this. And they're the one hotel that still does this, but they'll give discounts on rooms to VFI volunteers. Looks like we lost Steve. But what you have to do is you have to call the hotel and ask for Saeed, because he's the manager. He's the one who knows about this discount. So ask for Saeed, okay, if you want it. And it's a great hotel, and it's right on the beach. It's right across from the boardwalk. Perfect location.
And financially, it's very reasonable. Frank, you had a question?
Yes. Do we know the hotel in Jerusalem?
We do. I don't have it at my fingertips.
It's something like Little Hotel of Baca or something like that.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, Little Hotel in Baca.
I think it was changed to Prima or something.
What did you say?
I think it might have been changed to Prima, because I asked you about that a few days ago.
Yeah,
it's still a little house. It's still a little house.
What? Okay. Steve, can you get that information just in case?
Right.
Julia will have that.
I think I'll have to ask Julia.
Yeah.
Up to the minute.
We'll try to have, we're going to try to also have another meeting before you guys go and try to. The issue is that Julia's in Israel and we want her on the next call. So we'd have to have it earlier in the day. I'm guessing there's some people that will be an issue for. So we'll record it. And then if any of you have other questions, we'll just email it to Julia.
Ilana, all the booking sites like Trivago still listed as Little House in Baca.
Right, but we may have changed it to the Prima Hotel.
Ilana, I have the email that you forwarded to me from Julia, and it said the Prima Royal in Jerusalem.
Yeah, Howard, I'm not saying that the hotel's name changed. I'm saying that we changed hotels.
We changed hotels?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very possible.
That's what we're saying. Yeah. Not that the hotel's name changed. Okay.
What's the new hotel? The Prima?
Yeah.
That's not the hotel that was in the
Right. So we have to sometimes change based on availability because the more
Right.
people sign up, we need more rooms. And I don't
Right.
know if you know this, but it's impossible to find hotel rooms in Israel right now for like the
Right.
next few years. And my
Yeah.
other
It is.
Just so you know, for the week starting on Sunday, the second Sunday, that you'll be on the archaeology portion, a bus will pick you up at your hotel around 6:30 in the morning and deliver you to the work site. And at the end of the work day, usually 3 or 4 in the afternoon, that bus will also bring you back to the hotel. So your transportation is taken care of. Plus, you'll get your lunch, which is a kosher lunch, delivered by a food service on site, and you'll actually go off to the side in a little park area and have your lunch. So,
or you'll eat it while there's a lecture.
yeah, and there might be a lecture during that period also, right? So, any other questions that somebody might have?
Other questions? Yeah.
Steve, I have a question. Is there for the archaeology portion, any special gear we're supposed to bring or clothing that you recommend?
Good question. No open-toed shoes. Nothing that nothing good that you want to wear on that site. You'll basically be working. You're not going. You'll be wearing civilian clothes as opposed to the military base where they're going to give you a military uniform to wear. So I would suggest that it should be temperate temperatures down there, and you'll be digging at a pretty low place. Sometimes it can get chilly in the morning hours because you get a sense of this thing. The top is here, and you might be like 800 feet down, as Frank was indicating. You're digging at potentially 600 BC, and that's down in a deep ditch. So
it was
right.
next, but
Yes.
also suggest bring like a pair of like a
dungarees,
like
clothes.
Dungaree, because maybe you can be sitting cross-legged on the ground a lot. And bring a pair of like work gloves because you can be using shovels and rakes and the hands clearing stones. So you don't want to be doing that with your bare hands. So in case they don't have gloves for you, bring your own pair of gloves.
Well, I did it with my bare hands. So if you can't find gloves, don't worry. But I do agree that's a good suggestion. For the women, I would say whatever you feel like comfortable sitting on the ground in. So like I was wearing like stretchy jeans or like black leggings because I find those most comfortable. And then something you might want to bring, like, I don't know, I have a pain disorder. So like it hurts me to like sit on hard stuff. So I have like this little pad that folds that I bring around. So if you want to like, if your knees are bad or it hurts for you to sit on the ground, maybe you want to bring a little like mushy square. That's what I had. But other than that, just t-shirt, I would say like keep your shoulders covered and pants and then just closed-toed, like I wore sneakers.
No.
And you're usually under a tarp the whole time. I'm terrible in heat, but I was under a tarp and I was fine. But also make sure, obviously, if your whole trip to Israel, to also have like a water bottle you can carry around. You'll bring that with you.
Yeah. For the military base, for those that haven't been there before, when you arrive there Sunday, sometime in the early afternoon, they'll issue you military fatigues, and that'll be a uniform for the time that you're volunteering on the base.
I have to give them back.
Back on Thursday. They're not going to issue you boots. They used to in the old days. They will issue a cap, a field jacket, and a shirt and pants, and a belt. And don't expect anything to fit properly, but that's okay.
Fit men better than the women. Let me just say that because they're made for men.
It's not a fashion show. But off duty, you're welcome to wear whatever clothes. And off duty starts with supper, usually around 6 p.m. You can change, in other words, into civilian uniform.
You can also wear a t-shirt under your like button-down uniform. A lot of people will do that. Just make sure your shoulders are covered, and you usually take off your chutzah because it just gets too hot. But if anyone has questions on packing on a woman's perspective, just let me know.
A pair of work boots is a really good idea.
I wear sneakers or work boots, yeah.
And do we have to bring sheets, pillowcases, that stuff, or will we know?
Okay, so
later?
sometimes they hand out blankets a lot. That's only happened to me once, and they were very uncomfortable wool blankets. So I'll tell you all what I do and what some other people do is I bring a fitted sheet, either that I don't want anymore, I got from the dollar store, or my mom doesn't want, or whatever. I put the fitted sheet on the bed, and then people either just bring a top sheet, or I bring a really small, what's it called? sleeping bag. And I just put the sleeping bag on top of the fitted sheet, and I either sleep in it, under it, or on top of it. And then as my pillow, because they sometimes give you pillows, but they don't always, and I don't really trust them, is some people will bring just a pillowcase and they'll stuff like hoodies in there or some clothes of theirs. Or what I do is I use the neck pillow from the plane, those like sea pillows, and I just flip it upside down and I use it as my pillow.
Right.
So, and then, yeah, you can always throw the sheet out if you don't want it or donate it.
Yeah.
If you donate the sheet, I usually bring the sheets that we don't use anymore, and I leave them behind on the base for someone else to use afterwards.
Right. Yeah. In terms of the base, we will not know, and probably nobody will know what the base is until you basically get there on Sunday morning and somebody tells you then. They keep it sort of like a military secret or an operational secret anyhow. So you might be assigned to the north. You might go up to the Syrian border. I've been there. You might be assigned down to the south in the Negev. You might be somewhere near Tel Aviv. You might be on an Air Force base or an Army installation or even a Navy base. So it's unpredictable, and whichever base you're at, that's where you are for a week.
And it's basically, yeah, they keep it under wraps for security purposes, but also because they want to make sure the base you're on is the base that needs the most help at that time. So wherever you wind up, it's because that base needs help. And I think I probably said this to everyone individually, but even if you think you're doing nonsense work, there's a reason for it. Like I was readying equipment in an Air Force base, like getting rid of old bulletproof vests. And it was just seemed like this big shack we were fixing up. And less than a week later, they needed to grab that stuff and retaliate after being shot. So there are reasons that they know that they can't tell you, but just know that what you're doing is you're doing it for a reason, and there's probably a timeline to it.
If you happen to like a nice cup of coffee in the morning, bring your own instant coffee, like in a sandwich bag, because they don't have American coffee. Sometimes they'll have like a very heavy espresso type Turkish coffee.
Turkish coffee.
Oh, it's like
so I usually bring a sandwich bag of instant coffee, then with hot water, and make it. Otherwise, you're not. So I would do that if you like regular coffee in the morning.
Also bring some snacks, right? I think you bring some snacks into where you're sleeping. You can't bring any food into where you're eating, though. It has to be kosher.
Yeah, you're right. The mess hall is kosher, and they don't want you bringing any food into there. Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions?
What's I've never been out of the country. How are we getting shekels? Should I bring some American dollars? And
I would bring, honestly, I mean, what I usually do is I have shekels from my last trip, but I think there's some banks here that you can exchange. Frank, do you have a good answer?
Yeah, there are ATMs in the cities, and you should check with your credit card issuer. I've got a couple of credit cards where I can get cash out of an ATM anywhere, and there's no additional charge for converting money. So you put your credit or debit card into the machine. Debit is easier, and you tell them how many shekels you want and bang.
But if you do want shekels before you get there are banks you can go to that will do like here in the US, so that you just have like 100 shekels on you when you get there. That's what I would recommend doing. But I will say, if you are going to use your credit card, and this happened to me, please make sure that it does not expire while you're in Israel, because if it does and you stick it in a machine, you will not get it back. And you'll wonder why, and then you have to go to the bank, and then they tell you it was expired.
Your credit card expired while you were over there?
Yeah.
I was with in Ben Gurion, by the way. Inside in the
yes,
big
you can also do it in Ben Gurion.
In Ben Gurion, the ATMs where you can get shekels right in the.
Yeah.
Also, when you go to Ben Gurion, they have a travel type pass. I forget now what it's called, but there's an app you can download, and you can put money in that app.
Move it. It's called Move It.
Move It. Use that for buses, for their trains. They have a great train system. That you can take a train from Ben Gurion either to Tel Aviv or to Jerusalem. It works great.
You're on your own.
You have to pay cash. You just hold the phone up against when you go through the turnstile, and you go right through. So
that's transportation. Yeah.
During how it's correct, but during the time of the touring, actually during the time of the program, you are provided all the transportation. Period.
Yeah,
You're
all
really
included.
not paying anything else.
Right.
I was going to mention that if you use a credit card in Israel, be sure you have a password, the 4-digit or 5-digit. Because many credit cards don't need that here, but you'll definitely need that there. And secondly, just about any U.S. bank, you go to the teller and just tell her you want to do a cash exchange for any language or any monetary money in the world, and they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Usually there's no minimum charge. So I usually go and buy a couple of $100 worth of shekels before I leave, and then I just have them and I'm taken care of.
And then what you'll then at the end, just make sure you have some shekels before you go home, and then you'll have those to bring next time. Miriam, you had a question? Sorry.
Move it is MOOVIT.
Thank you for spelling it.
Questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
When we get to the airport, because we're going to be coming early, does anybody have a general idea of what it would cost to take a taxi from the airport to Tel Aviv, so we know that we're not getting ripped off?
It's expensive.
I seem to remember $60 for two people. Well, or taxi.
I seem to remember that you can take the train, and there's a station at the airport, and it'll take you to Tel Aviv, and that will cost you a couple of dollars.
True.
Okay.
If you do take a taxi, do they take credit cards?
Some will.
Some. Okay, you said $60 or shekels?
I've done it, but years ago, and I think it was around.
I'm going to ask Pam. How much does it cost? I'm going to write down your questions. How much
shekels?
Cost in shekels to go from Ben Gurion to where? Just like to middle?
The Maxim.
Say the Maxim. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, could you ask how long it would take to get from the Maxim back to the airport on Sunday?
She'll know this.
We have to meet at the airport.
Yeah, you're meeting in the arrivals lounge. Yeah, the arrivals lounge, and presumably 10
Arrivals Hall. It's called.
Hall, right?
And you'll see everyone with the T-shirts that say volunteer or meet not dev, depending on how new the T-shirt is. You'll just go toward them. It's like if you're coming out from the planes onto Arrival Hall, it'll be on your right. So if you're facing it, just on your left.
In front of the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Keep on Sunday's a work day, so traffic will be. You're gonna have heavy. Even 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, there'll be a lot of traffic heading.
What time do we have to meet Sunday?
I would say to get there by 10, no later than 10, because it'll probably leave around noon. And so we want to make sure everyone's there, everyone's accounted for. It's easy to get caught up in talking to everyone. So I would say get there by 10.
Yeah.
There
is some.
We've already booked our Maxim, and I just wanted to let everybody know for two people in a double room, it was 188, just to give you an idea. I'm sorry, 182, just to give you per night, to give you an idea of what it costs, including breakfast. And if anybody else is staying at the Maxim, maybe we can all arrange to go together to the airport.
Sure.
Yeah,
And,
I'm staying there.
okay. So let's make a plan, to arrange that we all go together, and that way there are less of us getting lost.
Okay, so I'm set. You'll have Liliana's info because I'm sending everyone's name, email, phone number. I'm going to make a note that Pam Brill, not Pam Lazarus, is going to make the WhatsApp group. And then this is the kind of stuff you could just ask back and forth. You know what I mean? So you guys can ask each other any questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to mention that there might be some additional documentation requirements. Among them that comes to mind is that Tel Aviv University takes out an insurance policy on you folks, and they need some additional information. They might be asking for it individually later on or closer to the date. But if you get a request of names, birth dates, social security number, some identifying stuff that they need to provide the insurer so they know who they're insuring. But that's covered under the money for that is covered.
Well, their version of Uber is called Get, G-E-T-T in Israel.
That's great. Yeah.
And if you use a Get taxi, they have to take a credit card because the same
It's like
cab.
Uber.
If you hail them on your own, a lot of times they want cash. They won't let you take use a card. But if you hail them using the app, the GETT app, they have to take your credit card.
It's basically Uber. So you just put your I
Yeah.
put my credit card in there and you just order it like that. I didn't even
Yeah.
know you could hail a Get.
Yeah.
They won't pull over for me. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe they just like you, Howard, because I can't get a Get that way. All right.
So, and it's like the app is pretty good. It shows you where the car is, how
Yeah,
close it is.
just like Uber.
Yeah, it's like Uber.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
Bob and I did not get our final approval, but we've already sent everything in, we paid everything, and we already bought our tickets, so we're going. Is there?
Are you talking to the regional manager? Did you apply through the regional? Did everyone here apply through their regional manager?
Yeah, Johnny Khan.
Oh, it's Johnny. Okay, so just Johnny did you pay Sarel? You did apply through Sarel and everything?
I would just give Johnny Khan a call.
I can't wait. You guys are muted.
Mickey, you're muted.
I don't know why that didn't work. We sent the VFI application fee.
Right, but Johnny should have had you also fill out a Sarel form. It's much shorter.
He has not. No.
Okay, can you give Johnny a call? Johnny's awesome. He's on the board. He knows everything. He's been more than probably most people. Just if you can't get Johnny, let me know and I'll call him. But just say you need final approval and to make sure you've done the entire process.
We sent an email, or Bob sent an email earlier today saying what else did we need to do, because we've got our travel insurance, our health insurance, and everything done.
Right, but just give Johnny a call.
Okay.
You should have his number's on the website too. Do you have it? Yeah,
If it's on the website, I'll get it from the website.
It's fine. He's a nice guy. Just give him a call, and if you can't get him for any reason, just let me know and I'll call him.
One last thing, Ilana, you were talking about things to wear.
Sure.
Did you recommend? Did you say sleeves with shirts or long sleeve shirts? I mean, shirts with the sleeves or just long sleeve shirts?
Just make sure your shoulders are covered, just because of the sun. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. You don't really have to wear long sleeves anywhere. I don't think, unless you're cold. I always brought another layer.
Are we going to be going anywhere where modest dress?
Yeah, the Kotel.
Okay.
So I would make sure you have something. Yeah, definitely covers your shoulders. That's the Western Wall for anyone who doesn't know, and that's below your knees. Like a skirt.
What was the name of the fellow at the Maxim Hotel?
Said. SAID. S as in Sam.
So, but if I have already reservations, I guess he couldn't change that. I would have to redo them, right?
I would call. Did you make reservations directly with the hotel or online with something else?
Online with something else.
I don't know that you can change it. That's why I just was telling everyone to talk to Said. You can call Said and tell him and see what he says.
Okay.
Okay. Mary is saying that she's having trouble. She can't hear most of the meeting, can't verbally participate.
I think maximum is probably best for her.
Since what hotel should I stay in? The Maxim. So Mary, I'm writing it here. It's in Tel Aviv. It's called the Maxim. And contact Said for a discount. Just tell him you're volunteering with Volunteers for Israel and Sarel.
Yep.
Who am I missing? Did someone else have a question? Most likely. No.
I just wanted to say that Said was very nice.
Good.
And it was very easy.
He's a really nice guy.
Perfect.
What number did you call him at?
I don't remember if I had it in an email or if I had it from the website. I think I had it from an email from Ilana.
Oh,
I didn't give you Saeed's number, I don't think.
Okay, then I got it from the website.
Okay, yeah, go to the website.
okay, thank you.
Or,
Alana,
listen, you can just sit. Oh, sorry.
Alana, the question I have actually was what we've been, going back and forth with on email with Julia.
Yeah.
So Michael and I are going to be in Jerusalem, or staying in Jerusalem afterwards. And so with respect to where we're going to have the farewell dinner, I mean, we personally would love it to be in Jerusalem, because then we can just go off to where we're going. Then they can take it right to the airport. But Julia had said that it will depend on the number of people, or people required to eat in kosher restaurants.
Exactly.
So,
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. So how many people here need to eat in a kosher restaurant for the farewell dinner? Please raise your hand. Howard, right?
Well, I'll be there. I'll be leaving.
But you won't be there,
Thursday.
right? Is there anyone else who needs to eat in a kosher restaurant? Okay. We have an answer for Julia.
Okay, that's good. That simplifies.
So it might be in Tel Aviv.
I just want to, I don't need kosher, but I need a restaurant that has non-meat options.
That's fine.
I do not eat.
Julia is a vegetarian, so she won't take you somewhere without non-meat options.
All right.
Okay, so I'll tell Julia that, and then she'll, I guess, tell us where that final dinner is. I guess, and if she knows, maybe if a ton of people are staying in Jerusalem, we can tell her that. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Mary's asking, do we stay on the IDF base? You stay on the IDF base Sunday through Thursday midday. So you'll have your lunch, you'll clean out the barracks, and then you'll go. Maybe do a little more work and then go. That's to answer Mary's question.
Right. Thursday at noon, one of two things will happen. Well, you might have lunch on the base Thursday at noon, and then either you will board a IDF bus to be taken to a central bus station, or Julia will meet you with her bus and pick you up right at the base. That decision is made later, after we figure out where the base is, and for convenience.
I have a question. Are we all going to the same base, or?
Yes.
Or
everybody, the entire group stays together the entire time, touring bases, archaeology, together.
That's nice. That's very nice. Thank you.
I'm going to have to get off shortly.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, I would like to know, as far as the touring is concerned, what part of the country are we going, where it's going to be warm, or where it's going to be a little colder? Like what kinds of?
Yeah. As far as the touring goes, what I suggest is take a look at the page for archaeology it's a computer page, and you can get at it by tinyurl.com. Okay, / VFI 2023 ARCH. The syllabus day by day is shown there, and I believe your touring will pretty much follow that. There might be some changes, but pretty much follow that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you send that in an email or something? I wasn't able to get it all down.
So the tiny URL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm making a note of it.
Okay, great.
Frank, can you? Sorrel to get. Wait, it's Sorrel that hasn't approved you, Frank?
Correct.
So you need to email Johanna Arhouse. If you go to the Sorrel website, and email Johanna at their main office. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Okay, and so I'll be in touch with my email with all the information, hopefully answers to your questions, and then I'll arrange another Zoom for us.
Another session. Perfect. Okay, great.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, I just have a quick story to tell you that will be very relevant in a short while.
Okay, I'm going to have to jump off, though.
Great. Thanks, Alana.
Thank you.
Okay.
Or it's good to actually see you guys.
Just a little bit of a Bible story. We all heard about King David, and he had this son, King Solomon. And King Solomon's mission in life was to build the first temple, and he completed that temple around 975 BC. So the temple stood for something like 420 years until the year 586 BC, when this clown Nebuchadnezzar II, the king of the region, decided that Jerusalem was not paying the rent and wasn't paying the taxes, and he decided to invade Jerusalem and burnt it to the ground. So in 586 BC, Jerusalem basically ceased to exist. And that's all solid history. Now, where you're going, which is it used to be known as the Givati Parking Lot, or now is this massive excavation in City of David. If you stand anywhere and you look at some of the vertical walls that'll be around you, you'll see a little strip of dark, smoky, like soot. And you can look up at it if you're lower or if you're looking down on it, but you'll see, and ask if you don't see it. Somebody will point it out. And that soot is this soot that you might be able to see. I have a little bit of it right here. What is this soot? This is the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC. This was Jerusalem back then. And if you ask, they might prepare a little envelope of that soot for you. I personally presented it to my rabbi because this is a real thing. And I brought it, and it's a solid piece of history. So I thought I'd share that little tale. One other thing. When you're there, they will discourage you legally from taking artifacts. But the fact of the matter is that they have so much stuff that they actually have garbage bags filled with fragments. And these garbage bags are actually used to pave roads. In fact, on some archaeological sites that I've been at in northern Israel, the roads are actually paved with artifacts. So if you go into the garbage can, you might see something like this. And this is a jug handle. How old is it? Well, could be from 300 BC. It could be from whenever. It's ancient. And what I'm suggesting is, well, we want to listen to their rules. This is another jug handle. Actually, we dug these up, but they were trashed. And so even though nobody's going to tell you this, and don't repeat that I've told you, help yourself from the garbage cans, these big bags filled with this stuff. And you might want to bring an artifact home as a sample to show your grandkids. And whatever artifact you bring home, I guarantee you it's way before 1 BC. So enjoy it. Any other questions that anybody might have? If not, we'll do a wrap and we will reconvene, and Alana will send out the notice. And should anything look like it's not working right or you run into some obstacle, don't hesitate to call me or Alana directly, and we will solve the problem. But I'm looking forward to you guys having a fabulous time there. I'm looking forward to having good weather in the fall there, no hurricanes. And I wish you luck, Allison, on your travails down there in Florida. Oh my goodness. So at that, good evening to everybody. Thanks for joining with us.
Good
Thank you,
evening.
Steve.
Thank you. Thank you
Good to
so
see you.
much.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye.
So long. Bye-bye. Steve,
Yes, sir.
by the way, the earliest flight you can get out of Ben Gurion, I think, is 5 o'clock. And the way I found out about that was in 2017 or 18, my flight was supposed to leave at 11:30. The one pilot didn't show up.
Huh.
And they couldn't get a part. And apparently the airport closes from 1 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning because it's around a neighborhood. So they couldn't get a pilot to Ben Gurion in time to take off by 1. So I sit there till 5 o'clock in the morning until the airport opened up. So
Right.
it was a long night.
Goofy flights. Yeah, I've been, yeah. I wish you all luck. It's variable. You never know. Good to see you, Howard. Thanks for joining with us.
Oh, thanks again. Have a good night.
Good night.